Greetings, you're watching Dugin's Guideline. Today we witness the historical event of the great importance, the meeting of two heads of the greatest Christian churches, Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and all Russia, and Pope Francis. This event caused the appearance of many interpretations, sometimes radical and fraught with serious consequences. The relations between the Orthodox and the West churches were difficult since the Roman Empire Christianization in the 4th century. And while the West Empire separating the East one, they were becoming more and more strained. Even before the Great Schism in 1054, the distrust and the disconnection between the East and West Christians gradually increased. The two Christian denominations created two Christian civilizations. Western European Catholics, later the Protestant, even more Occidental in some cases, derived from it, and the Eastern European Orthodox civilization. The Christianization of the Kievan Rus led Russians' ancestors to the Orthodoxy and to the Eastern Christianity. And after the fall of the Constantinople, the Principality of Moscow took a mission to be a stronghold of the Eastern Christianity. This is the third rule. The Greeks found themselves under the Ottoman Empire. Thus, only Russia remained the carrier of true orthodoxy, not only at the religion, but also at the empire. Schism. After Greece schism, there were several attempts to unite the churches. It means signing the union. And every time under Michael VIII Palaeologos and the last emperors of the Byzantium, such unification was asymmetric under the Catholic West conditions, accepting Pope's supremacy with the pretext to protect Byzantium from infidels. At the same time, the West didn't help and all unions failed. That's why there are natural suspicions toward contacts with the Catholics. The Orthodoxy is that separate church and that separate civilization. It used to be even before we, Russians, became the third rule. So we shouldn't change it. Thus, the Orthodox world is anxious. Will the meeting of the head of most important and the powerful Orthodox Church and the Pope, who is rather liberal, be a betrayal of the Orthodoxy? It is understandable. The history of previous unions is the history of religious defeats and political failures. That's why now it is seen as something most possible result. However, the conditions of this meeting are entirely different. Rome is no longer the same. It is not the dominating power of the Western Europe actively influencing its politics and geopolitics. The Western Christianity today is in a difficult situation. The secular, atheistic power historically appeared after the Messianic and the liberal democratic reforms supplanted the Catholicism to the periphery a long time ago. It is no longer the center of the power, but only an exhibition in the museum. Of course, the Pope has a certain respect among the Catholics, but doesn't have a serious influence on politics, and if he does, then he only makes some addition to the Washington's large-scale projects. Particularly, the Polish Catholicism was used to destroy the communism in the Eastern Europe. But the Polish Pope was only a passive instrument in Washington's hand. Later, after the Soviet Union dissolution, the Atlanticist strategists didn't need Catholic Rome anymore. The West is no more Christian, and the Vatican isn't Western General Staff. On the contrary, Russia today faces the quick growth of the Church's influence. It is the most respected institution, gradually increasing its influence on society and authorities. The Russian Orthodoxy is on the rise. The Catholicism, by contrast, is dying. Under these circumstances, the union is out of question. The Catholics are just incapable to sign it, and they don't even want to do it. Now we are in the opposite situation. The powerful conservative Russia, where the Orthodoxy is strengthening, and the rotting liberal postmodern Europe, where the Christianity is turning into dust. Empty churches, compromise with secular culture, reliance on the political correctness rules imposed by the atheists and the liberals. The Catholicism is disappearing denomination, almost decorative in the Western world. The Catholicism in Latin America has different position. There, it is an important institution of the Latin identity, sound and actively opposed to the atheistic and materialistic American hegemony, which is based mainly on the Protestant sects and religion. So the choice of the place to conduct the meeting, Cuba, is evident. The island of freedom from capitalist hegemony, the territory of the sovereignty and the active anti-Americanism. The Catholics today can offer practically nothing to the Orthodoxy. The situation is rather different, that they need us as an example of the Church growing influence in Russia, as an example of the conservative Christian revolution. Moreover, today the Christians, no matter Catholic or Orthodox, face the genocide in many parts of the world. Thousands of people are killed for Christ in the Middle East by radical Islamic fundamentalism, supported by the United States and New World Order creators. Therefore, it is not about the unification, not about union, not about renouncing our Orthodox identity, but about working out a common strategy to fight against the common enemy. Previously, the popes demanded from us to join them. Now there is nothing to join. They want just to protect themselves from the liberal degeneration and the aggressive fundamentalism. Vatican begins to realize that compromise with the devil of the modern world makes the situation only worse. Therefore, the Russian Patriarch have an active position. Goodbye, you watched the Dugin's Guideline.